Donald Trump's temper tantrums on Truth Social are becoming far more frequent and far more extreme. We have seen over just the last few weeks Donald Trump increasingly turn to his own platform to air his grievances about quite literally everything and pretend to be a complete and total fascist dictator of the United States. Don't get me wrong, he's getting there in practice. He's just, kind of restrained a little bit at the moment, but those restraints do seem to be coming off. And this week, of course, he decided to, after threatening to pull the licenses of multiple media outlets that he just simply doesn't like, he decided to take aim at Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, whom Donald Trump appointed during his first term, like it's literally your guy. But Powell pissed off Donald Trump this week when, on Wednesday, Powell came out and said, no, we're absolutely not going to lower interest rates. We're fighting off a recession at this point. Lowering interest rates would pretty much guarantee a recession. And he also talked about the fact that Donald Trump's trade war is definitely not good for the economy. As you can imagine, this pissed Donald Trump off. So Trump went on Truth Social, had another childlike temper tantrum, and said this: the European Central Bank is expected to cut interest rates for the 7th time, and yet too late Jerome Powell of the Fed, who is always too late and wrong, yesterday issued a report which was another and typical complete mess. When you call him too late Jerome Powell, you don't have to reiterate to us that he's too late. By calling him too late Jerome Powell, we can already assume that you think he's too late on things. So a little bit of redundancy there that you really could have done without. But Trump continued, and here's where things get super crazy. Oil prices are down. Groceries, even eggs, are down. And the USA is getting rich on tariffs. Too late. Should have lowered interest rates like the European Central Bank long ago, but he should certainly lower them now. Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. All because he disagrees with you because Powell actually knows what the hell he's doing. That's what this is about. Powell understands the economy. Donald Trump clearly does not. Trump is very stupid on economic issues, and he has proven that time and time again. Powell knows what he's doing. During the Biden administration, they had to raise interest rates. And yes, that was harmful for consumers. Wanted to take out a mortgage, your mortgage rates are astronomical because it costs the banks more to get money and all of that. It costs the government more. It was painful. However, economists agree that this move by Powell during the Biden years to raise the interest rates to reduce spending prevented us from going into a recession. So now that all the economic indicators tell us we're headed towards a recession, Powell's like, I'm not lowering rates. If I lower rates, we will hit a recession without a doubt. The U.S. economy is not the same as the European economy. They can cut interest rates. They're not experiencing the same kind of BS that we are. So comparing the two is apples to oranges. And Trump doesn't seem to understand that. Powell does. So Powell says, no, I'm not going to intentionally sabotage the economy and increase consumer spending at a time when the economy is about to bottom out. That would be real dumb. But again, Trump doesn't care. All he sees is an individual that he put in power, let's never forget that disagrees with him. And in Trump's world, in his authoritarian little dictatorship, Powell has to go. And he'll make it happen. And what we'll get instead is a moron, a completely incompetent and unqualified individual running the Federal Reserve, and they'll cut interest rates. And people will start borrowing tons of money. There will be a spending surge, absolutely. And then a crash. And then potentially millions of people lose everything, go into foreclosure. So then we could not only see an economic crisis, we could see another housing crisis. Just like the end of the Bush years. We have recent history to look back on to tell us why we should not do these things, how these things do not work. But Trump doesn't care. The only thing that matters is he's right, everybody else is wrong, so he'll get out there and whine like a child if you dare disagree with him. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.